My name is Kirkland Vaughans. I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm also a psychoanalyst. I largely work with children and youth. I would say that approximately 70% of the patients I work with are patients of color. In general, there's been a change in that more patients are coming to me today out of a sense of loneliness and a sense of disconnect, being not able to connect with in an intimate fashion with others as well as they'd like to. There's a real keen struggle around that. Another change that I've witnessed over the past decades, not years, I'd have to say decades, has been when I would talk with patients of color. They were much clearer about the racist brutality that they experienced. One of the things that the psychoanalytic frame has really assisted me with is the discovery, I shouldn't say the discovery, but looking at the intergenerational transmission of trauma among African Americans from slavery until today, and how in some ways it's put right there in front of us and we miss it as such. I disagree with some of the theories around transmission, generational transmission, in the sense that they're seen strictly as intrapsychic, and that the conflicts, the shame is passed on from one generation to another strictly in an intrapsychic way. I've come to believe that not only does that occur, but a major source that facilitates this is within the social institutions themselves, the educational system that looks upon the child as if he or she is of little value. The police department looks upon you from an early age on as though you are a criminal, black boys, black girls. So I see these issues being carried through the very structures of society. So I think that having an understanding of the unconscious aspects of race and white racism as they impact in the treatment room and the treatment setting has really made psychoanalysis a much more powerful school of thought. Let me say this. I think that a tremendous amount of research has been conducted in psychoanalytically informed treatment modalities. The first, I think, that has produced the most research, of course, would be attachment theory. But after that comes mentalization, which has been, the forefront of that has been Peter Fonagy, Mary Target, and a number of other folks. I won't go into all their names. I'll include Migley as well as Norma Mulberry. But let me say this about mentalization. It sounds like a really big concept. In many ways, it is not. Mentalization is the concept that I can imagine what may be going on in your mind. What is the meaning of your behavior? That I can intuit it. It also implies that I have a sense that you can intuit what goes on in my mind, so that the two of us can sit down and not just focus on concrete behavior, but we can imagine what was going on in our feeling world, our internal world. And the importance of it is not just a therapeutic, as a therapeutic instrument, it's also the main source of what helps us to develop ourselves, our sense of ourself, because with our parent, if you will, your mother can say, gee, to an infant, gee, you must be hungry. And the infant begins to understand his or her movement, physiological activities, and so, oh, I'm hungry. So it gives us a powerful sense of being known in the world, of being able to be understood, which then in turn means we can understand ourselves. A third development, which I think is crucial and will be very, very rewarding, is regulation-focused psychotherapy. And it differs from mentalization in its focus in terms of it's more applicable to children with severe behavioral disorders. And it comes out of very much out of the Freudian child psychoanalytic paradigm of focusing on defenses, helping the child to get to know him or herself through being able to be viewed from the perspective of another person in a very safe way, so that they're able then to choose, make more choices about how they want to come across and be known. I think that psychoanalysts must, in fact, help patients understand the current cultural climate in which they're functioning, and or which induces difficulties for them functioning. Now, in so doing, it doesn't mean that their analysis is going to be received with welcome arms by a patient. But I do think that our culture needs to come in on the couch just as the patient does. So it's neither, there is no this dichotomy between inner and outer. They're both there. And I think psychoanalysis has more to offer than any of the newer, briefer, short-term, behaviorally modified therapies.